right? Going to entitle this lesson, Where Wisdom Dwells. Now, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles of Jim that ruleth well. And peace, blessings, salutations to the Akim, and to the few Aquaf tuning in, and to the Israelite foreigners that are scattered. And again, want to say Koholo Yabashim Yahushua for allowing us to be in this thing, having the Spirit, and giving us His wisdom and the light to shine amongst this darkness. Now, I'm going to go into Sirach 24, going into, what is this, the Good News Bible with Deuteronomic Canonicals with the Apocrypha in it. This book right here. And let me see. I'm going to go into Sirach 24. So it says, listen to wisdom, Shammai to wisdom. She proudly sings her own praises among the Israelites, her own people, in the assembly of the Most High Power, Yahweh, in the presence of His power. Hey, because, it's a notion out there that, due to the worldly, the denomination set up by Esau, these religions, that, the Lord just loveth everybody. He dealeth with everybody. And, if you just call upon the name Jesus, then that's all it is. And, He'll save you. But it's way more so than that. People not realizing, you have to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth, and not just a feeling and not just lip service. And when you read the scripture, it clearly shows you who the Lord is dealing with, who He loveth, for who He sent Yahushua for, who the world ignorant called Jesus Christ. In His wisdom He giveth to His elect. This gospel. So it says, I am the word spoken by the Most High. I cover the earth like a mist. I made my home in the highest heaven. My throne on a pillar of cloud. Alone I walked around the circle of the sky, and walked through the ocean beneath the earth. I ruled over all the earth in the ocean waves, over every nation, over every people. I looked everywhere for a place to settle, some part of the world to make my home. Then my Creator, who created the universe, told me where I was to live. Make your home in Israel. He said, the descendants of Jacob will be your people. He created me in eternity before time began, and I will exist for all eternity to come. I served Him in the sacred tent, and then made my home on Mount Zion. Salaki. He settled me in the beloved city and gave me authority over Jerusalem. I put down roots among an honored people, whom the Lord hath chosen as His own. I grew tall like the cedars in Lebanon, like the cypresses on Mount Hermon, like the palm trees of En-Gedi, like the roses of Jericho, like beautiful olive trees in the fields, like plane trees growing by the water. And, now this is going to how beautiful wisdom is. And him that the Lord had given wisdom to, they shine, they stand out. They have a different spirit according to this world, because according to this world is all the vibration of evil and wickedness. Every manner of evil work that's contrary to the scriptures. Basically, we clearly see that we're Sodom and Gomorrah, romantic ways, Greekish ways is heavy, predominant here in America, because this is the extinction of the ancient Roman Empire. So all the manners of evil works that was there, idolatry, orgies, idolatry, worship in the form of, wickedness in the flesh, orgy, spiking, etc. The bread and circuses is 10 times, 100 times worse. And the men that the Lord had departed this wisdom to, they clearly stand out amongst, everybody that's here on this earth, because it puts them underneath a different vibration, a spiritual vibration. So, let me see. Bear with me one moment. So, Proverbs 2:6, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. So, our conversation is not, conversation is about here, progressing here, staying here, bowing down to Esau, or, how you say, pretty much trying to continue on here. Our conversations is about righteousness and for the kingdom to come, which, the manner of wickedness that you see here, basically this world that we live in, everything is either whoredom or sod, or how you say it, mo activity. And through, dysfunction of this society, through, the mo activity and whoredom activity has brought the dysfunction and confusion of all the people into this new world order, new world government that's Esau is trying to bring amongst the whole world to the CHIP. So it says, Ephesians 5:15 and 16, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. And only through the wisdom of Yahweh Bashir Yahushua, you're able to even see these things. Just like there's a scripture that tells you, people that's carnal, they can tell, when a bad storm is coming, when the weather is bad, you're about to see, some bad weather, but they can't see bad times are coming right in front of their faces, because they're not spiritual and they don't have wisdom. They have wisdom of the world, and the wisdom of this world will blindeth you. So let me see, James 3:17, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. We live in a world where everybody has that dualism spirit and full of hypocrisy. Proverbs 16:16, how much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen in silver. Let me see, Proverbs 19:8, he that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul, he that keepeth understanding shall find good. So, again, going back, so it says, let me jump down a little bit. So it says, I'm going to jump down to verse 19. Come to me, all you that want me, and eat your fill of my fruit. You will remember me as sweeter than honey, better than honey from the comb. Eat me, and you will hunger for more, because a righteous man desires wisdom. If you're a man that has wisdom, you desire for more wisdom, more understanding and knowledge, And if you're a nigga that's wicked, you will put your how you say, your doings, and you will put your time into reaping shit that's wicked, carnality, wickedness. But us, on the other hand, we tend our time to things that are spiritual, to do the thing that's pleasing to Yahweh Shah. Show ourselves a man. So it says, obey me, and you will never have cause for embarrassment. Do as I say, you will be safe from sin. Verse 23, wisdom is the law which Moses commanded us to keep, the covenant of the Most High, of Yahweh Most High power, the inheritance of the synagogues of Israel. See that? So, we had a guy from the Bahamas come up. We had a long dialogue with him, which, was edifying. And pretty much, he had the same Christian spirit on him, and going into how the Lord loved everybody, and you just call upon the Lord's name, and so be it. But contrary to the scriptures, and he was told completely wrong, and you can tell he clearly he couldn't leave, man. He actually, I want to say he actually stayed the whole camp. We told him to come back next week, whatever. But I seriously doubt he'll come back out. But the point is, man, he saw, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, that spirit, that wisdom, and I'm pretty sure, he never heard so many scriptures be brought out on the fact that, the way, the laws and the statute, the commandments, and wisdom of Yahweh Shem Shah, who this gospel and his kingdom was preached for. And he said he had a guy that he learned from. But again, we asked who he was, and I looked him up. I couldn't find nothing on him. But the scripture says, him that beareth fruit, his let me see if I can find it. One thing I can say honestly is the apostle GMS that we learn from have much fruit. So let me see. John 15, it says, verse 2, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. So let me see. Matthew 7:19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Simple and plain. Verse 20. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. So again, we ask, where he learned, where did he learn his doctrine from, or whomever, whatever he calls himself knowing, where did he learn it from? He gave us a name. I looked it up, couldn't see anything, but we tell anybody, just look up, put in GMS, man, and you will be amazed. He asks us the question, where such and such, where everybody else at, and we just say, you can look us up on the internet, online. You can put us in Google. You'll find much fruit through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah to the elders on down, to the apostles, elders on down. But that is the greatness of this wisdom. Wisdom dwelleth amongst Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, and that is you so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans, man, which, you clearly see, it's clearly being shown whom the Lord is dealing with and who has the truth, And again, throughout all these years, we've seen Esau and these other nations somewhat proclaim something. You had, I don't really hear too much about Buddhism anymore. I don't really hear too much about Allah. I don't really hear too much about these Egyptology niggas. But one thing I can say about them, only niggas that claim that Egyptology shit is niggas here in America. I don't really hear too much like so-called Latinos or Hispanics or any other niggas in the world gravitating to that shit, because I even remember it was a Jake. I want to believe he was a Jake that came up to the camp. He said he didn't even learn anything about Egypt until he got over here to the West, here to America, because they don't even teach anything about ancient Egypt in Africa, in so-called Africa. So again, through the stupidity of a lot of our people, you Negroes, so-called Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans, y'all keep a lot of dead doctrines alive. But through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Shah, everything is being cut asunder, and you're seeing the true worshipers on the earth right before your eyes. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. Those were you was edified. Shalom.